Hey everybody, hi, this is Brian here. Hope you're having a great day, and we're going to get right into it. And there's a lot to talk about. I want to just say hi to all of you out there. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Everybody who's new to this channel, welcome here. And we're glad to have you in this family. This is a pre-tribulation rapture channel family here, and we are looking for the pre-tribulation rapture, which we believe that is just around the corner. And as you know, you guys are watching the news and keeping up on all this stuff. Every day something happens, or it just points to how close we really are. And a lot of us, including me, I'm shocked we're still here, but it's God's grace, because he doesn't want any to go to hell, but all to come to repentance. So that's the only real reason he hasn't come back yet, is because he's saving people. That's the bottom line. You can get all the theology, all the stuff out of the way, and you can analyze this and that, but it comes right down to it. He's not here because the church isn't completed. And Jesus said to Peter, upon this rock will build my church. How do you build God's church? One soul at a time. That's it. One person at a time. It may be your neighbor, it may be your family member, it may be a coworker that you have in your life that doesn't know the Lord. You're leading them in the Lord's Prayer. The prayer ends, and then all of a sudden there's a trumpet. I mean, really, that's what we're waiting for. The completion of the body of Christ for the grace age, which is about to end. What's about to start? Well, we're not going to be here for it, but the tribulation, the 7-year period of time of Jacob's trouble, the 70th week of Daniel, a 7-year period of time that it says in Scripture, there'll never ever be a time like the 7-year period that's about to start. We do not, right up front, we do not know when the rapture is going to happen. There's no day given for that. There's no one's of the day or the hour. But it does say we'll know the season. It does say in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 that the children of light, or believers, will not be, it won't come like a thief to us. We'll know kind of the time frame, maybe not the exact day, but we'll know the season. And who are these people? These people are the children of God. And how do you become a child of God? You believe that Jesus died, buried, and rose again on the third day. His blood that was shed from his veins of his body on that cross to the ground, soaked that ground with his blood, which is horrible what he went through. He went through a horrible, painful death, but he did it willingly so we could go to heaven. So sinners can be forgiven of their sins and a rebellious heart toward God that every single one of us is born with. And now we accept that payment for his sacrifice on the cross. Now we're born again believers. We confess with your mouth and believe in your heart, you shall be saved. And once you're saved, you're sealed by God's Spirit. It's a stamp. You cannot lose your salvation. You can't earn it, so how could you lose it? So in our name now, all of us out there are believers, and there's many of us out there I'm talking to right now. Your name's written in the Lamb's Book of Life. What does that book look like? How big is it? Is it in cursive? You know, they're getting rid of cursive now. I mean, nobody knows cursive anymore. I don't think it's even taught in the schools anymore. But is it in cursive? I don't think it's in block letters. And did one of the angels write it? Did Jesus write it himself? We'll find out really soon, because we're going to be able to look at that book in real time. That's one of the things I'm going to do in heaven. I have a little punch list. What do they call it? When you get older, you want to do things you've never done before. That list, hike Mount Everest and jump out of an airplane. My list for heaven is I want to see my name in that book. The first thing I want to do is I want to see him. I want to see Jesus. I want to see him. I want to fall down in front of his feet and just drool over the ground and like a little baby on the ground crying. I'm going to melt. Can you imagine? This is the kind of stuff that you need to think about if you're having a bad day right now. Whatever it is, pull over with your car, go in your room, go to a park, just take a 5-minute break. If you're at work, go to the bathroom and lock the stall door. I mean, literally, just take 5 minutes, because the enemy has thrown everything at you and getting your day all in an uproar. Believe me, I know all about this. I could write a book on it. I could. It'd be a bestseller. And just get your thoughts together, pray to him, give it to him. If you can listen to worship for a few minutes, just get your brain off the stuff that's consuming you. And you know what happens? You center back with him. It doesn't mean you're out of fellowship. It doesn't mean you're sinning just because you're having a bad day. It's just your thoughts are everywhere. You can't concentrate. It's like you're in the defense, not the offense. And you know what? He'll center you. He'll bring you back to where you need to be in your mind and your spirit and your soul with him. He does it every time. Be still and know I am God. There's a reason to be still. And so we're going to talk about some things today. And one of the things I'm going to start off with is the stock market. I shouldn't say everybody's a blanket statement again. A lot of people are freaking out. And I get it. It dropped 1,000 points today. It dropped 800 points yesterday. Who knows what's going to drop tomorrow? This has been going on for decades. You know, one thing I've learned about, I saw this on a wall in an office, if I can say this right, okay? Your lack of organization does not constitute an emergency on my part. The lack of organization of our federal government and the reserve and the economy does not constitute an emergency on either of our parts. Yours out there or mine. You do what you got to do. The stock market goes up and it goes down. The economy in 2008 crashed. It came back. 1980s, I was out of work for like a year. It crashed then in the 90s. And you know why all this is happening? And I can't say 100%, but I'm going to say 99.9. These people must think we're stupid. Okay, here, let Brian explain. The third person Brian's going to explain. The other, me and I, they're in Starbucks getting a coffee. I'm going to join them in a minute. I'm laughing. You know why? You kind of laugh at this stuff. Because if you don't, you freak out. If you don't laugh at this stuff that's going on, or not laugh like it's something happy. No. People are being affected by all this. So financially, there's trillions of dollars just being lost today. People are losing their 401ks and all this stuff. That's nothing to laugh at. I'm laughing at the absurdity of mankind, what they're doing right now. See, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking past the stock market. You know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at a one world order that's got its teeth stuck into our economy, into our lives, and is fighting every tooth and nail to bring in the one world order. That's what's going on with the economy. You think the economy is run by the federal government? The Federal Reserve's not even a government facility. It's privately owned. They call it the Federal Reserve. It's the biggest lie since the $3 bill. Okay? They lie to us all the time. All these things we think are normal, they're not normal. They're just lies. And so with the economy, let me just say it this way. Revelation 13:16 again, they cannot buy or sell unless they have the mark. I can look it up and read it, but I don't have time to do that. You guys can look it up. You know what it is. Don't get too excited what's going on. What's going on is there's a switch going on. There's a flip-flop going on right now in front of us. War in Israel is part of it. Now we have the markets are crashing. Is that a coincidence? Israel's in war and the markets are crashing, and at the same time the weather's going, wait for it, cray cray. All this stuff is happening in the Olympics, the woke Olympics, all at the same time. What's going on, these leaders behind the scenes, there are leaders behind leaders. Most of you should already know this. Our leaders that run our countries aren't the real leaders. Most of them. There might be a few out there, but most of the countries are run by very rich and powerful people. Some of these people have more money than most countries have in their private bank accounts. I don't want to start going into who these people are. So these people are trying to bring in the one world government, and those rascally Christians again, I wish they'd just leave and finally just get out of here so we can get on with our business here. They are crashing the markets on purpose. You think these aren't being done on purpose? They're crashing the markets on purpose. My little man brain's going all over the place, so just bear with me. Okay, up until Trump, let's just say up until Trump, a Republican president, 4 years, 8 years, whatever, then a Democrat, then a Republican, then a Democrat, then a Republican. Is that a pattern? Is that a pattern? Trump was the wrench in the crankcase. They didn't want him in there. Now, we can't put our hope on just Trump. Has he been compromised? I don't know. I don't think so. My point is, God is moving things around on purpose. He's getting the one world monetary system ready. They talked months ago about this winter, bring out, digital currency this winter in the United States, digital banking, everything digital, no more cash. You can look it up. A lot of podcasters are talking about it. They were talking about this winter bringing it in. And now the markets are crashing. What a great time to bring in a digital currency. It's all tied together. What I'm saying, folks, I wouldn't get too nervous about what's going on. If you got money in the markets, I'm not a financial guy. I'm not going to give you advice, but never do anything out of panic. Get good wisdom and good advice, but don't panic. What's going on? Jesus is about to return in the clouds. That's what's going on. And these people behind the scenes are manipulating the market on purpose. They want our economies to crash. Why? So they can bring a brand new economy that you cannot buy or sell without the mark. The technology is here to do that. You guys all know that. They've been chipping our dogs for decades now. And now there's people that have been chipped. They have these it was Elon Musk, the chip you can put in your brain. They enhance your body. And we got Israel. Any moment, I might end up doing another podcast today that is about to get either attacked or they're going to be preemptive. They might just go after themselves. I have tons of articles to read right now. I'm not sure if I'm even going to do that because you guys already know this. I don't want to waste your time. I can read them to you, but you know what's going on. What am I here to say? I'm here as a watchman on the wall, like thousands others out there, men and women, to say to you what Jesus would say in the scriptures to you. If Jesus was here, what would he say at this very moment to you and to me? Do not be afraid. Peace be with you. There are many troubles and trials in this world, he said in the Gospels. But take heart, I have overcome this world. If he's overcome the world, we've overcome the world. Because in the Gospel of John says, he is in the Father, and the Father's in him, and we are in him, the Son, and he is in us. So, what can man do to us? Yeah, life can be a little tough here, for sure. Okay, I'm not downplaying anything you guys are going through, but we are so close to the finish line. It's so obvious. Let me use this word. It's ridiculously obvious. Okay. Now, some of you guys are too young to know this movie, but it's a mad, 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 mad world. Very old movie out of the 60s. They're looking for this treasure in a park buried under something called the Big W. And they're all running around this park with shovels trying to kill each other to find this treasure. And they're all looking, and this huge W made of palm trees is right above them, and they can't even see it. Finally, somebody sees it, and they go for it. The big W in the room is that Jesus is about to return. Oh my goodness, it's so obvious. I don't have any prophetic thing to say today, like big insight, and how to dream and vision. And there's a lot of those out there. And it says in the last days there'd be dreams and visions. And boy, is there? There's a lot of them. And you know what they're all pointing to? the return of the Lord. There's a theme going on here. And then you have natural events, natural things happening right in front of us, like the stock market crash. Israel's about to go into war. We have a hurricane now, Category 1 in Florida, about to hit Florida. And by the way, that it's not like it's a big hurricane, like a 4 or 5, but the reports I saw with BP Earthwatch, it could have dropped 24 inches of rain in like 24 hours. That would do some damage. What else? What else could I say? There's just so much going on. And this whole stock market thing, this is the one world government trying to change the economic system of the world. The good news is they can't really bring their plan of one world government to fruition. They really can't do it. They're trying really hard. I give them that. Why can't they do it, Brian? They can't do it because we're still here. The one world government is never, ever going to come in to play unless we're gone. They can try and try and try. There's never going to work. Why? There are too many believers on the earth that will not go for it. But there's going to be a rescue coming. We're going to be taken off this planet in a pre-tribulation rapture that can happen any moment. And we're going to be whisked up to heaven, taken to heaven for a wedding. Who's getting married? We are. But not like the traditional wedding down here. It's going to be to the Lord. There's a marriage supper of the Lamb. The throne room in verses chapter 4 and 5 of Revelation, the worship service. I think that'll be after, because we have our crowns already, because we throw them at his feet. So I think that all happens before that. I don't know the exact time. You know, Gabriel hasn't gotten with me and the Lord said, this is how we're going to do the wedding today, Brian. I'm not the wedding planner. God is. The angels are. They're working right now, preparing that for us at this very moment. And the saints in heaven do not know the day or the hour, but they know just like what we do. They know the scriptures, because the scriptures that are here with us are the same scriptures in heaven. They know prophecy. They know something's up. Don't you know that heaven's buzzing, that our families and friends and relatives and co-workers and everybody up there before us, we're all going to, the reunion, they're saying the reunion is almost here. The reunion is almost here. We're going to finally see him. We're going to finally see him. I can't wait to show them the new mansion. And if I didn't know Jesus in my heart and you heard me talking like this, I'd be a lunatic. But I'm not. I'm not. What I'm telling you is going to happen. We are about to leave the planet. And it says, and I understand why Jesus said this. He gave a list. When you see wars, rumors of wars, Matthew 24, Luke 21, and he says, look up, redemption draws nigh. He gives a whole list because they're asking, the disciples are asking, when are you going to set up your kingdom? And he says, this is just the beginning. Then he says, look up. When these things begin to happen, look up. They're beginning to happen, and they've been happening for a while. They're increasing. He's telling us not to look horizontal. He's telling us to look up. Why? Do not be afraid. He's telling us what's going to happen before it happens and why it's happening. So when the generation that saw these things would not freak out. Believers would not freak out and lose hope. Our blessed hope, Titus 2:13, is almost here. 2 Timothy 4:8, the crown of righteousness will be given to those who are loving his appearing, is almost here. And I want to end with a passage about Israel, and it's for us too, but what Israel's going through, about to go through. And the world has no idea what's coming upon them, but we do, don't we? And so this is Psalms 124. It says right here, let me bring it up a little bit. There we go. Had it not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now say, had it not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, they would have swallowed us alive when their anger was kindled against us. then the waters would have engulfed us. The stream would have swept over our soul. Then the raging waters would have swept over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who has not given us to be torn by their teeth. Our soul has escaped as a bird out of the snare of the trapper. The snare is broken, and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He's going to rescue Israel out of this time, and he's going to rescue us in a pre-tribulation rapture. Think of the things above today, not the things below. The things that are seen are temporary. The things that are unseen are eternal. Saints, I love you guys a lot. I really enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to try to get my phone or iPad to work a little better, especially my phone, but we're going to do another one. It might even be tomorrow morning. I'm not sure. I might just start doing more live streams when I can, so I may not give you much heads up, but you'll catch it later because it'll be recorded. So I love you guys. We're almost out of here. All this stuff that's going on, you just got to do what you got to do for your family and take care of yourself. One day at a time. Matthew chapter 6. I love you guys. I'll see you in the clouds. It's Brian out. Bye-bye.